When I was hospitalized overnight, my parents refused to watch my 5-year-old and said, "She's exhausting. Not our problem." Then drove off on vacation with my sister's kids, while my daughter was alone for the whole night. The next morning, my aunt came to see me. She listened quietly, then made one phone call. 2 hours later, my parents were rushing home, begging her not to do it. The nurse adjusted my IV, while my mother's words still echoed in my ear. The curtain was half open. 2 interns paused. Someone coughed. I kept my voice even and asked the nurse to lower the volume on my phone. She did, eyes flicking away, like she didn't want to be part of it. My parents' car was already packed. I could hear my sister laughing in the background. Suitcases zipped. A door slammed. Then the line went dead. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I stared at the ceiling tiles and counted the cracks. When the nurse asked again who would be with my daughter, I said her grandparents like it was still true. It wasn't. People walked past my bed. A woman across the room argued about insurance. A man vomited into a bag. No one looked at me. I texted my parents. No reply. I called, straight to voicemail. I typed one sentence to my daughter and watched the dots appear. "Are you coming back?" she wrote. I replied with instructions. "Lock the door, keep the lights on. Don't open it for anyone." The nurse returned with a clipboard. She read my vitals out loud. Witnesses. I stayed calm. My aunt arrived in the morning with a paper cup of coffee and a pen clipped to her coat. She sat, listened, nodded once. No gasps, no questions. She took my phone, scrolled, and asked me to confirm the timestamps. Then she stepped into the hall and made one call. When she came back, she put my phone on the tray table and said, 2 hours. That was all. An hour later, my sister posted photos from the lake. Smiling kids, a dock. I didn't comment. My aunt sent one email from her own phone and slid it face down. Subject line visible. Emergency intake. She didn't explain. She didn't need to. My parents started calling at 90 minutes. Missed calls stacked. Texts followed. Typos. Caps. My aunt silenced the phone. "Let it ring," she said. I watched the clock. A doctor came in with discharge papers for later and asked if I had support at home. I said yes. He nodded and left. At 2 hours, the door flew open. My father's face was red. My mother was crying. They spoke at the same time. Apologies tripped over excuses. They said my sister's kids were already strapped in. They said it was a misunderstanding. Other patients stared. A security guard paused. I kept my hands folded. My aunt stood. She opened her bag and took out a single sheet. Not a stack, one page. She didn't hand it to them. She read the first line out loud. My parents went quiet. My mother reached for the paper. My aunt stepped back. Phones buzzed. A notification pinged on my aunt's screen. She glanced at it, then at me. "They received it," she said. My father's knees buckled into the chair. My mother whispered my name like it was a plea. The guard moved closer. Someone across the room pulled their curtain. My aunt picked up her phone and pressed one button. "We're proceeding," she said. Then she hung up. My parents froze. My sister called again. I didn't answer. The nurse returned and asked them to lower their voices. My aunt nodded toward the door. "You should go," she said, "before this gets public." They left in a rush, shoes squeaking apologies trailing behind them like paper. In the hallway, my mother turned back and mouthed, "Please." My aunt closed the curtain. My phone vibrated once more. A new message appeared. Not from my parents. It was from an unknown number. It said my daughter's name.